I'm Spin Pegasus, and these are my reaction videos to Season 3 of The 100. Okay, so this episode, I've got a couple of things that I want to say before the episode starts. First thing, I am so excited to see Papa Kane, as I've come to call him, in being all rebel and trying to undermine Pike in the best way that he can. I'm really excited. I am loving his storyline this season. If you had told me I would love Kane this much at episode 1, I'm freaking loving him this season, and I'm hopefully that means that most of what's going on in Arcadia, outside of like the City of Light, we're not going to see a whole lot of Pike, because we know I have rage issues when it comes to Pike, and I don't like raging. It's not fun. Okay, other than that, also, what's in the box? Okay, I'm like 95% certain that it's Emerson in the box. I have no doubt about this. Okay, I have a little bit of doubt, but that's because with these writers, you never know, so I always have doubts. That's why I said 95%. I will never go above 95%. But I mean, it just makes sense. We see him in the episode promo. We see him in the season 3 promo. Like, it just makes sense. And it also makes sense that if Roan goes back to the Ice Nation and he's now the king, and he finds out that Emerson is how they knew how to blow up Mount Weather, that he would, almost as like a peace offering, and be like, hey, thanks for not killing me, sending them the other guy who's really responsible for Mount Weather. So, it just, like I said, it makes sense in my mind. So, other than that, the only other thing from, like, the sneak peek, the inside of the episode that has everyone freaking out because of the Titanic, is apparently Raven's going to help Allie find something in the mainframe of the Ark, and I have been trying for like the last day and a half to figure out what it is that could be in the mainframe of the Ark that Allie wants, but I just can't think of anything. I mean, but J-Ross says it's important. Like, it's something that literally sets up the rest of the season, so it's gotta be important, but I cannot for the life of me think of what it could be. Like, I'm seriously confused about what that could be. So, I suppose that's another thing we're just gonna have to wait and find out what it is. Probably. Maybe. I mean, obviously we're gonna find out what it is, but I wish I could figure it out, because, I don't know, it'd make me feel smart and special. Anyway, that's all I've got for the intro, so without further ado, this is my reaction to Bitter Harvest. Should be great. Oh god, here we go. Oh, they're actually doing a previously on. Oh, that's because of Emerson. So he's totally in the box. Emerson's totally in the box. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, I hate you, Pike! No, it's not. I hope you get messily killed. At this point, I don't even care who messily kills you.
Just die messily.
I just want you to die messily. There's a nice gorilla in the woods. Go find it.
I die.
No, of course we start with this! Oh, God. Having a nightmare. Ah! Titus!
Enter.
Scary box.
Are you going to tell me what's in the box or not?
Forgive me. The messenger said this is both proof of Fazgetta's loyalty to the coalition An answer to a yet unanswered question.
Oh shit! Fuck! Shit! Run! Yes! Run, small grounded child! Go, 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 go! Yes, 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 yes! Be the hero! Be the hero! Be the hero your brother wants to be but never will be! Yes! Save the small one! Yes! I can't believe they're gonna kill a child! Come on, he's a freaking kid! Oh. Oh, my heart! Oh, my heart! Oh, God! Oh, my heart!
Don't back towards the river. You can't come too far.
Oh, God.
Seriously, Mom, Mom, too. Seriously.
She didn't want to kill the kid, but at the same time, she was willing to kill the kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Seriously, Mom, why don't you? You're a mama. What mama is willing to kill a child?
Oh, that tree sap's burning her. Holy fuck. That's acid tree sap. And it's just dripping on her and she can't make a noise. Ouch.
More people will die.
Kane. Hug me. I love you, Papa Kid. What? Oh, you're playing Minecraft. They were telling me a chicken. I was like, how am I a chicken? I don't understand.
No, you're a sheep. You're a sheep.
Shh. Not during the show. God, just their swagger. They're just.
No, we don't.
God.
Savage department of having more immediate concern. Like not to be like. And keep up the good work.
Oh, Kane's so stressed. Hug me. Hug me and stop being stressed. Hug me and stop being stressed. Okay, Zen circle for the City of Light. Let Kane hug me.
Before, we talked about this. The people there are not a threat. We need that land. With the loss of Mount
Monty's not gonna be okay with this.
Arcadia will be started in less than a year.
Oh, if you had peace with the Grounders, they would trade you food, but you fucked that up. Why does she have to look so happy? I don't want to like this. I don't want to like it. She's not in pain anymore, which makes me happy.
Feeling better?
Better. I feel incredible. Thank you, both of you. Thank you, Raven. More are joining the City of Light because of you. Anything I can do to help.
Okay, Allie, what are you looking for?
What? Now that you're back on the
John Murphy never saw the City of Light.
call it an abundance of caution then. We don't have to all ask her to.
What? Why? Why is there a version 2?
Into the world.
What's wrong with Allie? Ah! So many unanswered questions!
We won here.
I'm not okay with this. I need answers. I need answers now, and I need commercials to go away.
Behind here.
Oh my god, why do you have to fake me out like that? Every time. And like, I know it's coming. I know they do that, and I still get tricked every time. It's like lots of people are dying. How much you want to bet that none of them are actually gonna die? Okay, Octavia, stop the attack, stop the attack. Get them all out of there. They arrive to an empty village.
That's a lot of firepower. Let's hope we don't need it. What's the mission? Planning for our future. You know, that looks a lot like our past. We're building a life here. Not trying to make peace with people who don't understand it.
Damn right.
They only understand war. Lexa walked away. What the hell?
You just got your son back. Don't think let it die.
No, it's dying today.
No one? Really? What about all them bullets? What them bullets gonna kill people? I think them bullets gonna kill people. Oh.
Come on, Murphy.
Yeah!
Yes!
Saving the child, saving the lives.
Save Gabrielle.
The dark influence is strong. What just happened?
She kissed him on the cheek.
I ship it!
I should Cabby too. Oh.
Wait, that's actually a thing? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's totally a thing. And we actually even get like more in the season 3 promo. Have you not watched the season 3 promo?
No.
You need to watch season 3 promo. You would have already known Cabby be a thing. And I'm totally okay with it. Because Kane would be like the coolest stepdad ever. Like, totally.
Yes.
I mean, he's no replacement for Jake. But you have to admit, Kane, I'd totally be okay with that. He's cool with Indra. You know, him and Titus could totally be like the dads that butt heads. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Totally be cool.
What you did. My training's today. Yours has just begun.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Someone kill him. That's not Clark.
We're just not.
Can he just like randomly die of an aneurysm like right now?
I'm tired of being.
So
Stuck with Key.
Would you mind if I run some trials on it? I just want to make sure that there aren't any side effects.
it is basically making their brain not feel the pain anymore, even if Raven could be fucking up her hip even worse, but she just can't feel it until her hip suddenly is just not gonna work anymore.
Your son.
Yes. Yes. Of course.
Jasper, I need a minute, please.
What happened?
Can I have that back?
I'm shutting you down.
That's not necessary, please, Abby. It's been so long since I thought of my son.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to let you give this to anyone else until I get a chance to look at it.
Yes, Abby.
I am only trying to help eliminate pain. Same as you.
Whatever it is, it's eliminating more than just pain.
That's what happened. We weren't paying attention. She brought up Wells and he didn't even react. And Allie blocked the what should have been his sympathy response and his "oh my son,"
Don't worry.
and she didn't mean to, and so he didn't react the way that. Yes, go Abby with your. No, Jackson! No, no, no! He drank the Kool-Aid. No, God damn it! Why? Why you gotta be like that? Make me sad.
So, like, she mentioned Wells, and
And he didn't respond.
he literally had to be like,
And then she said, "Your son," and he's like, "Oh."
That's good foolish.
yes, my son.
Oh God. Okay, Clark. What are you gonna do? It's your show. Wow, Emerson, you got some pecs there, buddy.
His moves are bigger than mine.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a problem.
One problem at a time. There's no trace of Allie's code or anything like it on the arc.
Because it's not on the arc, it's in Polis.
Into space. Unfortunately, it appears that she wasn't on any of the 12 stations that made up the arc.
She was on the 13th.
We know how important it is to you to find that AI.
13.
I had an idea.
The Ark was made up of 12 stations, that's true. But there were supposed to be 13.
I didn't find that on any of the data. That's because it was scrubbed.
Blowing a space station out of the sky to get others joy isn't exactly an inspirational Unity Day story. No, hold on. We're supposed to manipulate.
Whew, hot damn! Damn, Titus. Brutal. That's why they call it Polis! Hot damn!
What happened?
Sky Crew attacked their village.
Today I call upon the armies not to attack.
Fuck.
Most of you in danger.
I'm more than capable of separating feelings from duty.
Oh god! Oh god! That's how they survived the bombs! They weren't on Earth! That's how they survived the bombs! They weren't on Earth! That's why it looks like an escape pod, because it is! Oh god, I'm dying.
I'm gonna die with you.
So, that episode, guys, I really don't know how to explain it all. But I'm gonna try. So, here we go. Thoughts. Oh, the Klexa fluff at the beginning was much needed because the rest of the episode was stressful as Anyway, and I'm so glad with how they did that scene because it embodied the fact that Clark is coming to terms with her feelings for Lexa, but she's not quite there yet. Hence the kind of embarrassed, oh, you weren't supposed to see that, when Lexa picks up the drawing, which I think is just super cute. And and just like the look on Lexa's face, and just all of it was amazing. These two women are going to be the end of me, that's all I know. Because they are driving me insane with their adorableness, and I just can't handle it. Okay, on to other things. Octavia and Kane are freaking the real heroes in this situation. I mean, Kane just trying to figure out everything he can, Octavia doing what she can on the outside of the walls, Miller helping, and like getting Octavia her horse, and everything. Oh, I just love it. Oh, I love it so much. And Octavia saving that kid, and like, good lord, I mean, she has like acid sap dripping on her, and she just like, get exhale, that burns like a bitch. Like, so cool. And then she goes out of her way to try and save this grounder village, because she just wants to save everyone. She doesn't want anyone to die. She, you know, it's not necessarily she's trying to protect the grounders from the Sky Crew, and she doesn't care what happens to the Sky Crew. She still does care, at the very least, about her brother. And you know, she at the very least cares what happens to her brother and, you know, I guess her friends, but she also cares about what happens to the grounders, you know? And I know she told Miller, she's like, you know, what happens when Lexa finds out that they massacred another village, and they're like, war and more dead friends. So, you know, and then of course the grounder village, they don't trust Octavia, and they're just like, we have to send a message, and we're gonna do this, and they need to hear da-da-da-da-da, and as much as I hate it, I don't really feel bad about it. Honestly, the Sky Crew kind of had it coming. You know, and I thought that was so cool how they worked in the fact that over the years of the acid fog, it actually had become, like, been absorbed by the tree sap, and so if you put the tree sap and you set it on fire, it actually release the acid fog into a gaseous state again. I mean, that was so cool. That's just my nerd self coming out. That was so cool. Yes, I know I'm a nerd. And of course Monroe dying, but then again, Jason kind of warned us, because I mean, when Jason talks about how many times he's tried to kill a character, that's usually a pretty good sign to which sucks. But then we didn't really know her all that well, and I know some people are upset because they're like, but we wanted to know her, but honestly, that's just how TV shows go. People die, especially a show like this. So we should probably just be happy it wasn't someone we knew a lot better. And I know some people are cracking jokes, they're like, oh, we just now learned her first name, and now she's dead. Well, you know, it is what it is. But then again, like I said, Jason all week has been saying, oh, you know, I've written Monroe dying 9 times and they've all been cut. Well, 10th time's a charm, apparently. Let's see, what else aside from that? Cabby. Yes, I support it because, I mean, Kane would be like the most awesome stepdad for Clark ever. I mean, he's no Jake, but he's pretty awesome. I'd be totally okay with that. You know, because he's just, it's so weird to think about because it's like, when I go back and rewatch The 100, like episode 1, I hated Kane with a burning passion. I wanted nothing more than for someone to freaking float him and get him out the airlock and just kill him. I hated him so much. And I just, it is boggles my mind that this character at the beginning of the show that I absolutely hated, I now is one of my favorite characters. It's weird because it was so natural that it's not like he just suddenly became one of my favorite characters. It progressively happened over time, where he went from this absolute asshat that I just couldn't stand because he was very Pike-esque, and then, but his progression and his development was just so natural that it felt really sudden that he was suddenly my favorite character, but it really wasn't. He's slowly been getting better and better and better, and I just love it. And I just want him to adopt all of the 100 kids and go live on a farm very, very far away from Pike. Lexus included that in that as well, because, yes. Let's see, the whole Polaris bomb drop. So apparently Polaris was the 13th station that was supposed to be part of the Ark, but then it was supposedly, I guess, shot out of the sky as a threat to the other state. Like, apparently, because from what I understand of the Ark mythology and how the Ark came to be, is that there was 13 stations orbiting Earth. And they all came together, except for the 13th station, which ended up, like, blowing up or something like that. But apparently that wasn't how it happened. What actually happened is that the 13th station was shot out of the sky so that the other 12 stations would say, hey, we should probably all link up together so we don't get blown out of the sky. Because that's how humans are. Anyway, and the 13th station was named Polaris, and the pod ship-looking part in Titus's room, or the conclave room, I still technically think that's where the conclave takes place, had Polaris on it, but the A and the R were like burnt off, so it just said Polis. So that's where Polis gets its name. And I'm thinking it makes so much sense, because if you think about it, Dante said that they didn't see any outsiders for like 20 or 30 years after the bombs dropped. And that was one thing I'd always, because, you know, I have this huge theory about like the City of Light and everything like that. And the one thing I could never answer is, how did they survive the bombs? How did they survive the bombs? How did they survive the initial radiation? And this answers that. Because when the bombs dropped, they'd already been in space for 20, 30 years. Or no, not that long, but they'd already been in space. And then we're in space for a while, and then got shot down. And so when they first started seeing grounders, outsiders, they were actually the survivors from the 13th Ark Station that got shot down. They were the survivors from Polaris. And I'm thinking Becca was on the 13th station with whoever was helping her, and this version 2 or Ally 2.0 or whatever that she's looking for was on the 13th station because Becca was on the 13th station. And I'm definitely thinking whatever this is has something to do with the Nightbloods and how the commanders are connected. Which my theory basically is that the commander line started with Becca. Becca was the first commander. She is technically the commander spirit. I think somehow, who knows how, ended up with her mind like forever in the City of Light. And so now she is the commander spirit. And I don't know exactly how the conclave works, but my basic theory is that that's like the commander spirit, how the commander spirit chooses the next commander, is that they send them into the City of Light, and Becca chooses whoever's going to be the next commander. Something like that. I mean, I may be wrong, but that's my theory. Also, the really cool thing that we found out exactly how Allie does her whole emotional manipulation thing is, I was totally right again, is that she actually manipulates brain chemistry and brain signals to be able to block off or shut off avenues. So for Raven, her hip and her leg and her back are still sending pain signals saying, ow, we're in pain, ow, there's something wrong. But because of the City of Light and because of Allie, she's literally turned it off so her brain is not receiving those signals, so she is not feeling the pain. She's still in pain. Her body is still in massive amounts of pain, but she's just not feeling it. Which is bad, because that means she can really hurt herself and she wouldn't know. So it's bad. But with Jaha, which this is the even more interesting part, is his biggest source of emotional pain was the death and loss of his son. And so Allie, what it seems like is Allie completely erased Wells from Jaha's mind. Which would make perfect sense because she has access to his entire mind, to his brain. So all she has to do is do a little tweaking and a little chemical reengineering in the hippocampus, and boom, he has no son to mourn. What? Yeah. At least that's what I think. So I just found that really fascinating, and I love the dynamic that they've got with, like, Abby not believing him, and Jackson being part of the City of Light. Oh, I did not see that coming, and it hurt, and it was painful, and it's gonna undermine what Abby's trying to do, and I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with it. Okay, on to what's to come. Obviously, I think the next episode is going to be very, 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 very Polis heavy. Obviously, everything we saw in the promo was in Polis. We didn't see anything from anywhere else. I actually don't remember what the promo says. Oh no, the promo said that Lexa tries to keep the clans together. Clark finds a... I can't remember the word they used, but kind of like a groundbreaking truth or whatever, and then we also have a flashback. So, a lot of people are thinking we're probably going to be flashing back to either the launching of Polaris Station or Polaris Station being shot down and them surviving and being basically kind of the seed of the Grounders. And how that all started. While at the same time we're seeing Lexa trying to keep the clans together, and what I think is, I know in the promo it said, you know, I order the armies not to attack, but it's very clearly a cut. So I'm thinking what would make a lot of sense militarily is if she decided to, in essence, put Arcadia under siege, like not an active attacking siege, but basically forcing them to stay in their walls, like starving them out, essentially. Because she has the forces to do that. But with one simple demand. You give them pike, and you get, if you give them pike, you know, then you can, you know, move around freely, and you will, you know, trade food and become part of the coalition. But like I said, the problem with that is that Pike is technically the elected chancellor, and he does have a lot of people following him, so I feel like that's probably going to be an issue. Is that he's, you know, he's in charge, so there's no one that can just, you know, say, oh, well, I'm in charge, so I'm going to say, let's do this, and kick Pike out, because, like I said, Pike's in charge. So I feel like that's kind of what's going to go on there. I think that's what she's going to decide. A lot of people are worried that Lex going to die this episode. I'm not, at all. A lot of reasons people are worried is because we have that, the thing from, sorry, my shoulder's itching. The trailer, the season promo, where we see Clark all, like, crying and distraught, and Titus looks like he's, like, comforting her or holding her back or something like that, and he's got war paint on. And in the extended promo, we see Titus putting the war paint on, and a lot of people are like, oh no, Lex is dead, da, da, da. And And this is not just me being, you know, a hopeful gay saying, woohoo, I don't want Lexa to die. That's not it. Honestly, really, it's the fact that the entire point of this season has been showing us that love is strength, not weakness. Kind of going against everything that they showed us last season, which last season was, you know, how far do people go to survive? And even the tagline of this season is life is about more than just surviving, which is literally taken straight from Clexa dialogue, basically saying that love is strength, not weakness. And so it doesn't make sense for them to kill Lexa. It really doesn't. I don't know what's going on. But I think it might have something to do with Octavia, because if you look in the background of one of the shots from the promo, Octavia's there and she's all like tied up and gagged. So I'm thinking maybe Titus does something where, because obviously the villagers are not going to be happy because yet again they're not getting what they see as their vengeance. But honestly, I think that might be how Lexa kind of introduces the whole siege asking for Pike's deal, is that it's not vengeance, but it is justice. Because there still needs to be justice. And like I said, Pike and his men murdered 300 people and then tried to wipe out another village. But if Octavia hadn't showed up, they would have wiped out the village. So not doing anything is not going to solve anything. But asking for Pike, the person who's responsible for all of this, who's in charge of all of this, is just like Lexa asking for the Ice Queen when she blew up Mount Weather. It's justice, not vengeance, because vengeance would be wiping out the Sky People, but it's justice. So I think that's gonna, I don't know, I just feel like it's gonna have something to do with Octavia, and also we know Indra's gonna be in the episode because we see Indra being all like incognito with her hood and stuff, and then we also see her with like walking next to Octavia. So like I said, I don't know exactly what's gonna happen, but another thing that makes me think that that's not gonna be like Lexa dying or something like that is the fact that we see at some point in the episode Murphy is in Clark's room and then Titus is shooting at them. So what I think is Titus is trying to maybe kill Clark and then make it look like Murphy did it, because then he's hoping maybe Lexa's emotions would force her in going back to, you know, juice drain, juice down, and saying, you know, because her grief for Clark would force her to want vengeance, not this whole peace thing. I don't really know. I know it's going to be very, very Polis heavy, very Clexa heavy, and then like a lot of flashbacks that are going to be answering a lot of questions as far as like City of Light origin and stuff like that. Is my guess. I don't think we're going to get any Arcadia at all. And the only City of Light I think we're going to get is going to be like flashbacks to Becca and how that all got started. Yeah, I think that's going to be about it. I know a lot of people and some of their arguments and their theories and stuff. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. But I also think that Clexa Sexy Times is still not going to happen until episode 11. Now, we may get like a kiss or something next episode. I'd be okay with that. Because my main theory is if they do this whole siege thing, is someone's got to be there to oversee this siege and oversee whether, you know, they're actually going to hand over Pike. And then if they hand over Pike, being able to be at Arcadia to kind of get things in the works so that they can officially become part of the coalition again and da-da-da-da-da. But it would make sense. Who would make the most sense to send to Arcadia to take care of all of this, except for Clark and Octavia and maybe Indra? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we do get a goodbye, a parting of ways for now type situation. And I think it's definitely going to be emotional. For sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get kind of like a goodbye, promise of later type kiss situation, but if we don't, I'm not going to be upset, because the writers are doing so amazingly well with this whole relationship, while still having it so intricately tied into the overall plot of the season, where it's not like, and I've seen a lot of arguments about how Clark and Lexa's story is, oh, it's just a love story and has nothing to do with the actual plot, but it's so important to the actual plot. Like, Lexa is obviously very, very intricately and profoundly connected to the City of Light storyline, which I believe is going to be the big, big bad. Because obviously Pike is a big bad. But I think the City of Light is going to be the big, big bad for the entirety of the season. And Lexa is obviously very profoundly connected to that somehow. And obviously Clark's going to get drawn into that. So I feel like it's done amazingly. And this, honestly, I've never in my life watched a show that had such intricate storylines, such intricate, interesting, relatable characters that I could go on forever. But, yeah. So, I guess we'll find out what happens next week. Till then. No